Good evening, and welcome to another innocuous version of Diatribes from the Voice of Doom. Now here's your incoherent and insouciant host, Voice of Doom. Hello. It's very late, wee hours of the morning, but my sleeping habits get weird when I have days off, and I sleep in the day and sleep every 3 hours, or sleep 3 hours for a while and then wake up and sleep 3 more hours. It's not like 8 hours. Hasn't happened in a while. But I have weird sleeping habits, and so I figured I'd do a diatribe about a potpourri of problems that we have, and talk about my own microcosm. So you can see I'm very colorful today because I felt like it. And it's comfortable, and then I'm just going to do a diatribe, and I'm not going to change into anything. That's beside the point, but the microcosm has been kind of interesting because I have had a house that I've been paying for over 20 years. And it's not anywhere near being paid off, but I had to refi back in the day because I needed money to continue living. That was back in the 2000s, early, and we had to think about doing a lot of things to just keep the family going without going deep into debt, or just not being able to do it. So, you sell off your 401k early, or you take a refi out when your house gains equity, and use that to pay off a car, use that for other things, whatever. Just continue existing. So things weren't easy 25 years ago, and things are worse now. But I've had the house for 20 years and not done a whole lot to keep it up. A few little things here and there. But now they're saying I have to spend a substantial amount of money to repair the plumbing problems in the house. And it's a good amount of money, but then I'm thinking, well, I've had the house for 20 years and it's going to break down, and if I want to sell it for a decent amount, then I better upgrade it and make it worth buying. Because right now, if I could upgrade this house and make it look presentable, I could probably fetch the high end of $200,000 for the house. So I got a lot to think about because I'm 66 and I'll be 67 soon. And I got to think about how I'm going to survive when I can't carry trays around and carry plates of food because you just don't want to do it. But when they gave me terms that I could live with, I decided to, I haven't decided quite yet, but I'm looking into actually having improvements done on the house. That's some microcosm. I know it's boring, but I hear a lot about people that can't make ends meet and affordability, and I'm going to get into that later. But it made me have to think like, okay, if I take on this other payment, which I've been trying to cut down my damn budget, but I keep piling more on, I realize that I have to keep working. And as long as I can work, that's fine. But, I mean, sooner or later, it's kind of like, I'm sick of this. So I'll probably try to keep my ears out for something more pleasant to do than working in an absolute chaotic mess and just not knowing what's going to happen next with that. I mean, I like the job as far as the money, the people, and even the atmosphere is okay. Not my cup of tea, but I mean, I gotta be thankful for having employment now, because AI is taking over a lot of jobs and robots are taking over people's jobs, and the world is going to be really bad because there's going to be a lot of people looking for work and there is none because AI is doing it. But affordability, okay. Now, I hear a lot of people that are bitching and complaining, and I won't disparage their angst, but disparaging about, the cost of living. Now, okay, health insurance and all that stuff, the stories I'm hearing are horrific. It's Dante's Inferno. I got to pay $1,200 a month for insurance that isn't even beneficial to me. Because once I go into the hospital, they still give me bills for thousands. So we all know something's really wrong there, and it's got to be changed. Otherwise, nobody's going to insure themselves, and you have to rely on Dr. Welby to come to your house to treat you and say, don't worry about the bill. We'll worry about that later. And then he paid like $150, and it's like all good. But no, we have this system that's making life unaffordable because a family can't afford to pay $1,200 for insurance. What are they all doing for a living? Designing chips with some microscopic tools? Which I don't believe we do. I think it's alien technology, but forget that. Affordability, okay. I went to the store yesterday, and I'll tell you about affordability. I bought 2 packages of hot dogs, which are probably full of all kinds of bad things, a loaf of bread. I bought 4 cans of cheap tuna fish, and I bought a package of Parmesan cheese, grated. And then I went to the produce section because I've been craving salads, and I listened to my body, even though I abuse it horribly. I went over there because I was craving something, and I bought a Cobb salad that had all the little ingredients in the thing. And I bought a Santa Fe salad. So it had all the little ingredients you pour together and then put the dressing on top. And I have dressing in my refrigerator so I can make it the way I want. And those were $1.65 a piece because they wanted to get rid of it because it was getting old. And I had the spinach salad, and it was good. Because sometimes your body says you need greens, you need something other than the hot dogs and fish sticks you're eating. And eggs and bacon and hash browns, which I cook for myself about twice a week. But it cost me $14.57 for what I just bought. 4 cans of tuna, Parmesan cheese, 2 ready-made salads, and whatever else I got there. 2 packages of hot dog and a loaf of bread. $14. Okay, so that's how you have to live if you are struggling. A lot of food. I know it's Nevada, but you can get a lot of food for not that much money if you want to eat crappy food. Now, I should get into some things about the problems we have. I mean, that gaslighting is so disgusting. It's like, okay, we're going to go and impede you, and we're going to cause a ruckus and a riot, and then when you come and try to control things, we're going to say you're a fascist, and then somebody gets shot, and they're armed, and they're a left-wing wokester idiot, and it's like all of a sudden these stupid-ass D's are saying he has a right to carry firearms. Those are the same people that have been saying, disarm every law-abiding citizen in the United States, disarm them all, and we'll outlaw guns, and then everything will be good. That's their theory, that just get rid of all guns from anybody who owns them, and then the only people that have guns, well, of course, the criminals will turn in their armaments. The robbers and the thieves and the muggers and the gun runners will all say, well, they just outlawed guns in the United States, so let's turn them all in. All right. So that's one of the most glaring things that I've seen lately from the left-wing idiot mobsters, idiot whatever. I mean, inhuman fiends that have been sent to this earth from the universal forces to be demons, to be negative forces, to just force everybody to hate each other because they're not being reasonable, are they? We don't want to get rid of these hardened criminals who have done heinous things to underage people or have killed people because they're so good and they need to be given a chance. And it's hard to watch because when you see all the people on YouTube that are struggling, that can't pay $2,300 a month in their rent or mortgage. I mean, prices, come on. That's why I don't like Orangey saying how affordability has come down. Yeah, eggs were, $8 a dozen back during the horrible period of the Petri dish years. And now they've come down to $2.35 a dozen. And that's great for affordability when you're buying eggs. But health care, insurance, all the bills and things people bring on themselves, but not, mortgages and rents, and things keep going up, but they don't want to go down because all the people that invested in their real estate want to keep their equity. The same with me when I'm trying to fix up my stupid house. Everybody's in their own boat, but prices can't just keep going up and up and up without wages going up and up and up, and then wages cause prices to go up and up and up until we're in Weimar, Germany. Now, I think that in conclusion, which I don't have one, I mean, I don't see how we can get away from this. It seems to be getting worse because, the tribes But I would have to say my bottom line is, with all these people suffering and in despair, and wars about to break out in Iran, and that might come out for the best, but just a lot of strife and a lot of people losing their job and having no new job to go to means they want to get rid of 6 billion people, because it'll just be easier. There's too many people, and AI and robots can do the brute work. So I foresee probably and I'm looking at March, because March 20th was when the clampdown happened in 2020, and things happen in patterns. And if you look at the history of plagues, they don't just happen for a few years. They come and then nothing, and then they come again and nothing, and then they come again. So I'll just give you this pleasant thought. Nipa Hanipa is, and I've talked about that 4 or 5 years ago, if you look it up, is a plague. And I don't know if we quelled the migration of one part of the world to the other in order to start a pandemic of Nipa Hanipa. But if it starts, then all hell's going to break loose. Everybody's going to lose it. They're not going to know what the hell to do, because that's 80% fatal. And if I was in the elitist caste, I would probably think very carefully about how we expedite the exit of billions of people to make this planet habitable. Noble cause. But it's something for you to think about. I started off with a whole bunch of crap about my own personal BS, which is boring, but I think I ended with something very existential for all humankind to think about. So I'll leave it there. I think it was a pretty good one. Thanks.